NYC, brought to you by the present company. Please take a moment to throw away cell phones, pagers, things that make noise. That would be wonderful. And enjoy the show. This is Pedagogy.
Pedagogy, the science or profession of teaching. Or the next definition, duties of a slave who leads a child to school. Hi, I'm a teacher. A New York City high school teacher. And I bring up the youth of New York. Don't worry, I can't get fired. I got tenure, so. It's Monday, Labor Day. Most of you guys are in your backyard celebrating your labor. Not me. I'm in my backyard depressed because of my labor. See, because today's the last day of summer and I gotta go back to work tomorrow. So that night, I set my 14 alarm clocks because I've been getting up at noon for the last 2 months. So I'm lying there thinking, I can't believe I got to go back and do this again. You see, I generally have like a 2-year rule with everything I do. Jobs, boyfriends, apartments, musical instruments. And this is way past 2 years. And I was only supposed to do this till the comedy money kicked in, but comedy only made me $2,000 last year, so I got to go back. Besides, I need a mammography and my teeth need to get fixed. You know, I never actually saw myself as a teacher. That's because when I was a kid and I played school, I never actually got to be the teacher because my friend Susan owned the blackboard. But at least I got to be the student and I got to do show and tell. Well, it's the first day of school and I'm at the faculty conference and it's show and tell all over again. But instead of like showing things you discovered, you got to talk about things you got. I got a house. I got married. I got pregnant. I got a grandchild. I got none of that. I just got a hangover and I'm fatter. But hey, I got my master's. Hi, it's Nancy. Yeah, I'm back. Look, I didn't get married to have a baby, but boy, did I spend the summer trying. So why am I here? Why do I teach? You see, I live on Staten Island, the civil servant capital of the world. So I guess it's better than like carrying a gun or like running into a burning building or picking up heavy garbage. And the best is that I get benefits and a pension plan that won't be ripped from under my feet after 40 years of hard labor. You know, that thought really comes in handy when some teenage girl comes up to me and goes, I don't have to listen to you, you're not my mother. Because the only thing I ever hear is $10 copay. You know, some mom actually got pissed off at me because I told her I was here for the benefits. She's like, you know, you're supposed to be shaping young minds. Shaping young minds. You know, I would really like to do that, but unfortunately, like that job would give into like rappers like 50 Cent and Biggie Smalls. If one of them would give me just a little shout out, that would make my job more productive. No, nobody ever gives a shout out to the teachers. Even Biggie said in one of his songs, as his teacher said he would amount to nothing. Thanks a lot, Biggie. And then I heard on the radio once that teachers are heroes. I never do that because the only thing I ever hear is that I'm an asshole. And then people are always like, oh, shut up, you know, you got it so easy, you get the summers off, you get out at 3 o'clock. I'm like, well, I have to get out 3 o'clock because I have to go to my next job. So here it is, 185 school days. I know this because there's always that one teacher that counts from day one, and then it's summer all over again. So all I have to think about is June, June, June. Do we get our programs yet? I mean, the kids are going to be here any minute. What's this? Why am I teaching global? Hello, I was told I was supposed to be teaching American. I prepped all summer for American history lessons. Does anybody have a global lesson? I can't believe this. I mean, thanks for telling me this now. I mean, the kids are going to be here any minute. Well, actually, here they are now. Hi, how are you? I'm Miss Richards. How you doing? Yes, yes, we have to fill out Delaney cards. What, you need a pencil? Here you go, all right? Make sure you bring your notebook every day, okay? Put that cell phone away. If I see it again, it's mine. What's that? No, I'm not married. How old am I? I'm probably older than your mother, all right? No, I don't have any kids. Actually, I have a pit bull. Does anybody have any questions about the curriculum? You know, the handout I just gave you? What's that? I give homework maybe 2-3 times a week. RDM, did I say that right? What? Can you use the bathroom? Hold on one second. Excuse me, why are you late? All right, look, the class is oversized, so just go sit at my desk for now, okay? We'll figure something out later. All right, everyone be quiet because I have to call out your names, all right? Stop cursing, all right? The wastebasket is not a basketball hoop, okay? No basketball. What did I say about that cell phone? And take off that hat. Stop cursing. Is anybody listening to me? Jesus, I thought this was going to be easy. I mean, when I was in high school, all the teachers would do is they would write notes on the board, and they would, like, make you write it down. They would scare you or threaten you. I'm going to call your mother. Now, you got to do things like encourage them and motivate them. I'm going to have to call your mother. Yeah, go ahead. What's she going to do? You know, I remember the first year I was teaching, I was given a bilingual Chinese-American history class. What that means is that you teach history in both Chinese and in English. I know, I don't speak Chinese, and they don't speak English, so it was kind of all Greek to us. So what do you do with a bunch of people that don't understand English? You talk really slow and loud. If you don't understand me, raise your hand. And this is what I got. Nothing for 45 minutes. So I'm like, well, maybe I should get some help from like expert teachers. First there was the paranoid teacher. She was afraid of everything. Oh, and for the record, you can't be afraid of teenagers. Teenagers are just like dogs. They can smell fear. So this woman gave me no help. She's like, oh my God, just whatever you do, just make sure you keep one of the doors open if one of them's alone with you. And I'm like, but why? She's like, because you don't want one of them accusing you of abusing them. And then, of course, there's the I don't give a shit teacher. He turns around and says, look, all you got to do is just make sure that they're in their seats and they don't jump out any windows. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not going to be teaching them anything. He's like, you ain't going to be teaching them anything anyway. So, like, just keep them calm and try not to call a dean too much. Then there was the I'm the best teacher. You know, the one who spends every waking moment prepping for a lesson. She was no help, except all she talked about was how great she was and how the kids just loved her. And then finally, the teacher who made sense says to me, look, There's no answers. You just got to do with the best you got. So in other words, I was pretty much on my own. She did say, though, if I needed a good global lesson to see her, if I wanted some good PowerPoints, go see Hubs. If I needed some discipline tactics, go to the Teacher Center. I then realized that teaching, there's really no one approach to teaching. Kind of like there's no cure for like cancers. Because if there was, anybody could do this. But let me tell you something. The person that invents that one magic lesson is going to be a millionaire. Just like the pharmaceutical company that invents that cure for all cancers. So I kind of see teaching as like a big potluck supper. All the teachers bring like a little bit of something. You take what works best for you, and you go with it. So I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe I should learn Chinese. So I'm walking down the hall, and I see this Chinese woman. And I'm like, hey, you speak Chinese? So I drag it down to administration, and I'm like, hey, you know, this woman, she speaks Chinese. Can I use her in my classroom? No, I'm sorry. She needs to sell cookies in the cafeteria. Yeah, but she speaks Chinese. I need her to communicate with my kids. Sorry, she's staying in the cafeteria. All right. All right, class. Who can tell me why the Pilgrims came to the New World? Anybody? You know what? I think I'm just going to go talk to the wall, because I'm going to get just as much as response as I am from you guys. Because the wall, I mean, hey, might as well talk to the wall. Somebody will talk to me. I don't care, you know, might as well talk to the wall. And then all of a sudden I hear, Miss, we just fucking with you. I'm like, oh, that's right. These guys are teenagers. It doesn't matter where you're from. Teenagers are going to fuck with you no matter what. So then I realized, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can do this job. Because, you know, fucking with people is something I'm really good at. So the rest of the couple of months, they went pretty good. They liked the Japanese tea ceremony. Rome wasn't bad. They really liked my duck and cover shelter drill lessons. And they really liked my Regents review with Eddie Izzard. But that's another story I'll tell you later. Day 39, open school night. Some teachers actually hate open school night. Others even fear it. And you know what? Rightfully so, because sometimes parents come in with the guns a-blazing. Well, only the honor roll parents. You gave my kid a 96. Why don't you give him a 97? Well, then there's the parent who thinks the word therapist is above your door. So how's my kid doing? Well, I'm not doing so good. My husband left me for another woman, have to look for another job. Things have been really bad. Maybe I should go see a guidance counselor. Then there's the parent like where you go, oh yes, now I know why your son curses me out, because he curses you out. Or then there's the excuses parent. Yeah, I know he's cutting. I know, but you know he's boys, you know how they are. You know, he's got a girlfriend now. He doesn't, of course he's not going to do his homework. He's out with the girls. You know how they are. Well, then there's the, I'm going to give you a quiz parent. That's the guy who watches the History Channel 24/7. And you see, I teach history, so they come in with ready to go. They're like, hey, let me ask you something. You teach American history, right? Let me ask you, do you know why the World War II ships have reinforced steel? Huh? You know why? You know why? I know why, because I know everything about history. I watch History Channel 24/7. You need to know something, you just let me know, okay? What I really want to know is why his son failed history. Let me give you some advice. Always be prepared. Never assume a parent is not going to show up. Because the one that I really fear is the crack kid parent. I know what you're thinking. Parent on crack? No, it's not that. Okay, this is 2007. Crack is way over now. The crack kid parent is the parent of the kid who totally fell through the cracks. You know, the one that you totally forgot about. All right, look, okay, look, I have 170 kids, and I'm bound to forget like one of them, because they sit in the back, they don't say anything, they don't cause any drama, and then the parent comes in, you're like, yeah, he's really a quiet kid. He's a good kid, though. Yeah, I like him a lot. Yeah, nice. She's like, why did my son do so bad? I didn't get a phone call. And I'm like, look, lady, I made 8,000 phone calls. 7,000 of them went to kids who drive me fucking nuts, and like 1,000 went to truants. Then there's the parent who's just plain crazy. This Asian woman walked in one day, and she's like, where'd he go? And I'm like, who? My son, where'd he go? I'm like, he not going to my class, lady. That's where he go. I'm like, I think you really need to go. So I'm trying to push her out of the room. She just stops. She's like, I'm a single mom. The best is you get to go across the street later on, have a couple of beers, exchange war stories with your colleagues, and then you get to do this whole thing the very next day. Day 46, Election Day, or for teachers, Staff Development Day. Now, we used to get this day off. Now we have to learn to come in to be better teachers. Look, I don't mind learning a few new tricks of the trade, but what usually happens is the Department of Education comes in with some new philosophy. Like this year, it's differentiated learning. Now, I got no problem with like great philosophy, but I just spent the last 2 years implementing my lessons with the last great philosophy. You see, these ideas are really good, but they're just simply not practical. That's because they were created by people who never stepped foot in a classroom. See, it seems to me that when the Board of Ed makes this stuff up, they never actually include a teacher. So naturally, it's our job to figure this shit out. Hey, yes, look, yeah, I think differentiated learning is great. Yeah. Yeah, I think kids, they all learn differently. You're exactly right. But you see, look, I have 34 students in my class. So how am I supposed to teach 34 different ways? Are you going to show me? You're going to show me how? No? All right. Well, are you going to give me some extra prep time to figure it out? No? All right. Hey, what about the good old lecture? Hey, I got by that way. I graduated, became a productive citizen. All right, I'm sorry, I'm just making trouble. I'll just go to my next staff development session, how to teach the deaf or the hearing impaired. Do we have any deaf students in our school? Oh, we have 3 in the whole school? Well, aren't all our students deaf? I mean, do they really listen to us anyway? I'm sorry. All right, look, since I don't have any of the 3 deaf students in my class, can I go back to my room and work on differentiated learning lessons? No? All right, I'm going to the deaf workshop. Day 116, February break, or fuel week. In February, we get a week off. I don't know why, and hey, and I ain't complaining either. You know, sometimes the kids actually complain when we get holidays off. Miss, why are we off on Jewish holidays? I'm not Jewish. I'm like, shut up, what are you complaining about? I'm pushing for Ramadan. So one year, during fuel week, I got asked to one of my students' Sweet 16 parties. Have you been to one of these Sweet 16 parties? Oh my God, well this is on Staten Island. They have it like these huge, it costs about as much as a wedding. They have it at the Excelsior Grand. They like spend thousands of dollars to hire hunting where the girl wears a gown and a crown and like so then they can bump and grind with their classmates. Have you seen the kids dance lately? I'm like, sweet 16 my ass. So I'm like, I'm not going. What am I going to do? Hang out with my Global 3 class? But I got a phone call from the mother. She's like, you have to go. There's a candle waiting for you. And I'm like, candle? I'm like, what the hell is that? So I'm at the party hanging out with my Global 3 class. I'm going out for a cigarette every 5 minutes while my kids are trying to bum one off me. So I'm like sitting here going, what the hell am I doing here? And then the candle ceremony begins. Apparently, there's a candle for all the special people in your life. Your parents, your brothers and sisters, friends, grandparents, teacher. There's always that one teacher that inspires you, that makes a difference in your life. I'm like, oh my God, she's talking about me. I feel like Sidney Poitier. So I go up to light the candle. I don't believe this. I tell her that I was very verklempt. She didn't know what that meant. So I had to give her a little vocabulary lesson while I did the candle ceremony. So I go back to work that Monday, and I'm on cloud 9, and I walk into the teacher's lounge. I'm like, guys, guess what I got last week? I got a candle. Oh, yeah? Guess what I got last week? I got a ring. I don't give a shit. You know what? I'm just going to walk the halls. Fuck y'all. To serve with love. Hey, where do you belong? Mind your fucking business. You're not my teacher. Let me see your program. What are you going to do about it? What am I going to do about it? Security! 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 Well, guess I'm going to do nothing about it. I'll just go back to my room and work on differentiated learning lessons. You know, I got a candle. Day 185, excuse me, 165. So here it is. It's the 50th anniversary of Brown versus the Board of Education, and the Chancellor of the Department of Education wants to celebrate it in my classroom. Fucking great. Like I don't have enough shit to do. I got grade exams, I got to stop a fight, I got to organize a leadership conference, oh yeah, teach classes, and then I got to stay after school and work with the hip hop club. So now I got to have the highest ranking official of the Department of Education coming to my classroom. Why me? Why me? I mean, this guy comes to Staten Island like once a year. And out of all the schools, he's coming to my school. And out of all the classes, the principal picks my class. So everything that the chancellor is thinking about my school is going to ride on this class visit. So all the other teachers are like, are you nervous? Are you nervous? Are you nervous? Are you nervous? You know what I say? Bring it on, Joel Klein. Fucking bring it on. Because I love a show. Oh boy, was this going to be a good show. The school was going to get ready by sprucing up the place. They were going to buff the floors and put up new bulletin boards. Because you know, nothing says the kids are learning than a clean floor and a good bulletin board. But in my room, they were going to give me all new desks and air conditioning. Air conditioning! My job was I had to get my students to be scholars on the landmark case of Brown versus the Board of Ed. My little students. This was the class when I was teaching the Alamo. I was talking about Davy Crockett, and Steve in the back goes, Miss, Betty Crocker was at the Alamo. I'm like, did you say Betty Crocker? He's like, yeah, didn't she sew the American flag? I'm like, you mean Betsy Ross? Now hold on a second. The chain of stupidity goes around the room like a ball at a rock concert. No, that was that lead singer in that 60s Motown band. I'm like, Diana Ross. That was the woman who wouldn't move to the back of the bus. Well, once I was teaching immigration quota laws, and I asked what a quota was, and some kid said 25 cents. I think I need to have some work to do here. All right, kids, guess who's coming? They're like, who? I'm like, Chancellor Klein. They're like, Miss, he looks like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. I'm like, that's great, but please don't tell him that. Look, I love my kids, but they're teenagers, all right? So let's just hope that, like, they are so honest. So let's just hope, like, Joe Klein doesn't smell or have any gas, because I can just see it right now. Miss, it smells like ass in here. The good news is I don't have to come up with a lesson. A team of, like, overpaid administrators have created one for me. So I was sent an 85-page booklet to prep for one lesson. 85 pages. But hey, I can do this. I'm a teacher. I'm a hero. So kids, all right, we got to do some research. There's going to be a little writing involved. Oh, man, Miss, this sucks. Do we have to write? Oh, can't we just watch a video on it? No. Look, take out your book. What's in that book bag? Come on, let's go. Come on, we got to do this, guys. Look, if you all pull this off, I'll get you all pizza. You know, ever since the Department of Education took out junk food and they replaced it with Snapple water and Nutri-Grain bars, all you got to do is like dangle a little junk food in front of these kids. You can get them to do anything. So the day before, the desks arrived, but of course some graffiti's on it. But I got paper towels and a cleaner because I'm a teacher. I'm a hero. I got Robert. Robert's my go-to kid. He's the one who does homework and everybody else copies from. So now all I have to do is just make sure the cell phones don't go off, and I think we're set. So the chancellor comes, the AC breaks down. They put 8 fans in my wing and 8 security guards, because after all, this is a show, a reality show. Reality but staged. And you know what? Just like every other reality show, everything falls apart. Nobody does their homework. Robert, my go-to kid, breaks his leg and doesn't show. Some kid in the back is asleep. And then some kid who never, ever, ever comes to class comes walking in with his do-rag on and his headphones like, what's up with all the cameras? Brown, who's that? No clue. And then the chancellor doesn't even follow the 85-page lesson that I prepped for. But somehow, the seas had parted. My little bad news bears kind of knew that we had to pull this off. They didn't ask the greatest questions, but they were pretty good. I think the chancellor had a good time. School got their photo op. And the principal sent up pizza. And you know that kid who never comes to class is like, you know, this class is pretty good. I think I'll come back tomorrow. I think I am a hero. Day 185, graduation. One year, I was asked to give the commencement speech at graduation. Now, this is a really big honor. I mean, they could have asked anybody. Last year, they got Maurice Dubois from Channel 2 News. And the year before that, they got Yolanda Vega, the latter woman. So I had some really big shoes to fill. And shit, I got to keep it clean. The parents are coming. And I got to be funny, and I have to give a message. I mean, what am I going to do? Tell these kids? They're teenagers from Staten Island. What do you got to look forward to? A long commute to Manhattan and a semi-detached with a driveway. Oh, I'll think of something. Good afternoon, students, parents, teachers, administrators, and invited guests. Let me begin with a quote from Kurt Vonnegut. True terror is to wake up one morning and discover that your high school class is running the country. I thought that this wouldn't be so bad, because if you guys ran the country, there wouldn't be any war, because war starts real early. Many of you asked if I would say something funny, but what I would like to do is talk about the fun we had together. When you were freshmen, I was your global teacher, and it was my first year there, and the school had this bright idea of keeping you an extra ninth period, and my classroom was right above the entrance, so how easy was it to keep your attention while the rest of the school was being dismissed? If you don't pay attention, I'm going to get the whistle. The whistle. And then you told me that I look like Chucky when I get mad. I kind of do look like Chucky when I get mad. Or when I taught the Japanese tea ceremony, the only thing that you remembered about the whole lesson was that the tea wasn't real. Miss, this tea is from Pathmark. It's bootleg. Or when you were sophomores, I was showing you Schindler's List, and Tony Lala keeps a running commentary on the movie while it's going on. Yo, Shorty's making a run for it. Oh, go, Shorty, go. Oh, man, they won't let you hide? Well, let me tell you something. If you're going down, you take them all down. You know, and I learned that Oskar Schindler was not only a humanitarian, but he was also a player. And then when you were juniors and we were in American Studies, we were learning about the Cold War, you couldn't stop laughing over the duck and cover drills. Matt kept saying, oh, yeah, like hiding under a desk is going to like save you from a nuclear war, stupid 50s people. Or when you were seniors, how easily you could divert the lesson. 1 minute we would speculate in the stock market, and then 2 minutes flat, you were like, you got me talking about my new boyfriend. These are just some of the moments that we shared. Many people ask if I get a lot from my students. I sure do. What I really get a lot of is memories. I hope that high school gave you good memories. I think about what I remember in high school, meeting my best friend, winning the Staten Island cheerleading competition. I don't remember any real specific history lessons, but I remember that it was in high school that I began to love history. I remember struggling in math and how my teachers got me through it. I remember hating juniors because they beat us in sing. I remember the life I spent while I was there. But when I think about my life now, I always remember this quote that my grandfather told me. It comes from the Bible, Timothy 2, chapter 2, verse 15, and it says, "Make every effort to present yourself before God, a proven workman who need not be ashamed, teaching the message of truth accurately." What that means is that whatever you do in life, whether you're a wealthy businessman, or you fix cars, or you're a teacher, that you should never be ashamed of who you are as long as you work hard and you're honest. Because real respect are for people who work hard and that are honest. I don't have any children, but I always say that I have kids because you are my kids. And just like my kids, you annoy me, you stress me out, you take all my energy, you give me a headache. But you also make me laugh, you support me, you keep me real, and you challenge me every day to be my best. And for that, I love you. I wish you nothing but the best. Congratulations, graduates, and thank you. Well, I guess that really wasn't so bad. It was not a bad year. Good way to end it, don't you think? You know, someone once said to me that I remind them of a Hollywood teacher. I ain't no Hollywood teacher. Because let me tell you something, teaching is no way a 2-hour movie. It is a lot of years of hard work. Where's that story? Oh yeah, I'm sure if like somebody fucks up, it'll be in the news like right away. But what about the teacher who just shows up every day and does their job? I mean, if you don't think that's important, just see what happens the first time one of them is absent. "Miss, where were you yesterday?" You know, I give people who can do this job for 35 years. 35 years. I don't even want to think about 35 years. Oh my God. And besides, it's summertime. I want to go get my checks. So I'm walking in the parking lot, I run into a student. So she asked me, "Miss, if you get like a better offer, would you like still come back next year?" And I'm like, "Hell no!" Actually, I didn't say that because I didn't really know what to say. But then she said something to me that I'll never forget. She went, "You know what, miss? Even if you don't come back, that's okay, because wherever you go, you'll always teach. Because, miss, you're a teacher." So, that's your lesson. And when you go home now, and I want you to write a 500-word essay, what it means to be a teacher. And spelling counts. Sit down, the bell has not rung yet.